Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Logan from Calling Our Shot, back with some more college football picks on this Week 2 slate. This video will cover Friday, September 10th and Saturday, September 11th. Guys, we have an amazing weekend slate in store for us, so let's win some money, as always. And who doesn't love a free $100 if I bring out the brooms in the 4 picks, in the 2 spread bets, and 2 over-unders? If I do happen to sweep those, one person that does all the following on screen will be eligible for a free $100. Look, we're all into gambling, right? $100 for simply doing nothing. All you have to do is sub to our channel, like this video, and comment your favorite play of the day down below. I love to hear what you guys are playing. And your subscription, definitely worth it. Austin has been cranking out the NFL content on the other side, right? I've been doing college football. He is super busy all year with the NFL. Guys, this is definitely the place to be. We are only 20 subs away from our 8,000 goal. Man, this channel is amazing and continues to amaze me in Austin all the time. Let's do a quick recap of our season record so far. This is something we want to talk about each video, right? 5-4 on the year, plus 0.36 units. You know, last Saturday wasn't the best day, not one bit. It is week 1 though. We're trying to figure out what teams are good and what teams are going to be profitable on the year. So there's some figuring out to do, but we will bankroll manage and we will get after today. And where are we starting? Kansas versus Coastal Carolina. I'm taking Coastal Carolina spread minus 25.5 at minus 112 odds. Yeah, guys, I'm riding the Chanticleers in this one. Kansas is an atrocious team. They're not profitable one bit, right? 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games. Not great one bit. If you've been betting Kansas Jayhawks, chances are you've stopped doing it by now because they've let you down enough times, right? Against South Dakota, they struggled to win that game, right? They had to win it ugly 17-14 against an inferior opponent, right? Only 82 yards rushing, and 54 of those yards were from their quarterback. Yeah, so they're definitely struggling to get a ground game going. I think Coastal Carolina can shut that down, right? At quarterback for Coastal Carolina, I definitely love their offense, right? Grayson McCall. He absolutely lit it up last week. Yeah, they faced the Citadel, right? Everyone's got to inflate their numbers a little bit against the Citadel. But what you like to see is Coastal Carolina are winning the games they should. And this is a definite game that they should win. They have to win it, and they have to win it impressively, right? Being that 17th ranked team in the country, it matters how they win. They have to take care of these inferior opponents like Kansas. He went last week, though, McCall at quarterback, 16 for 19, 266 yards, and we love to see that. Coastal Carolina also had 262 yards rushing. Look, this is a great offense. They should easily be able to move the ball up and down all over the field against Kansas, right? I like what they did against Citadel, only holding them to 14 passing yards. Yeah, I mean, whew, right? It was a complete one-sided game. Kansas, like I said, there's several narratives here. Kansas 0-9 in their last 9 road games. Here they are on the road against Coastal Carolina that has been very profitable for people betting them against the spread. 8-2-1 in their last 11 games. So guys, the narrative is there. We are riding the Chanticleers in this one. Minus 25.5 points. Yes, I know it is a little bit of a lofty spread, but I will lay the points there. Now moving on to our next pick, Toledo at Notre Dame. I'm taking Notre Dame minus 16.5, minus 115. Yeah, the Fighting Irish kind of let us down last week. They choked that 18-point lead in the 4th quarter, blew the cover for us, and yes, it was a dagger right to my heart, but that's okay. I think they bounced back at home cover-wise, right? They still won that game, you know, in a thriller, but they will do well against Toledo, right? Cone, 366 and 4 touchdowns last week against the Seminoles. That's what I like to see, right? I like to see, can he be more than a game manager? Can he go up there and throw for over 350, get those touchdowns? Absolutely. He moved the ball all up and down against Florida State. Notre Dame, 7th in the nation currently in passing yards. So there's definitely some offense to be had there. Now, last week for Toledo, they didn't face anybody, right? They faced Norfolk, and yeah, okay, right? We're not talking about the cupcake team they played last week, but Toledo, not very good historically against the spread. 3-8 against the spread in their last 11 games. Here they are against Notre Dame, and this is definitely a spot I could see the Irish just taking control, just better athletes on both sides of the ball, and just running it up. Get this game getting ugly real quick. Surprisingly, also, they didn't even cover versus Norfolk, so they gave up near 150 yards to Norfolk. Rushing, Kyron Williams for Notre Dame is due for a big day, running the ball all over Toledo. Look, Maction, not today. The Notre Dame is the far better team, and I expect them to play like it. That's why I will lay the 16.5 there. Now, moving on to the over-under portion. Yes, we got 2 over-under picks, and we're starting with Missouri versus Kentucky. I'm taking the under 55.5 total points, minus 108. There was a week 1 narrative for sure. Unders were hitting at 66% of the time in week 1. So better tackling, more defensive game plan with more of a normal season, right, compared to last year. So the defenses have definitely tightened up a bit. Expect the under to hit in this one as well. In the last 9 meetings, the under is 7-2, and I'm cashing the under at an amazing rate. And none of the last 3 matchups did the point total even go over 36. Now, would it be really nice to have a no sweat bet where the point total doesn't go over 36 and we can sit back and count our money? Yeah, absolutely. I would love that, but that's just simply not how it works, right? I'm sure they're going to be hovering around 52, 53 points late in the game where a field goal could potentially sink us. But just looking at these two teams, this should be a defensive battle, right? Last year, Missouri won 20-10, didn't even crack over 30 points. So you love that. And with these two teams against SEC East opponents, the under is the way to go. Missouri, the under has hit 5 out of the last 6 times versus the SEC East. And for Kentucky, it has hit 4 out of the last 6 times versus the SEC East. So there's a lot of trends here that say this game shouldn't be fireworks. I didn't learn a ton offense and defensive wise against in their week 1 games because they did face inferior opponents, right? Central Michigan and ULM. I mean, those aren't SEC caliber opponents, but Kentucky's defense definitely stood out to me, right? Defensively, they only allowed 70 yards passing and 17 yards rushing versus ULM. That was a very lopsided game. Now, Missouri definitely needs to tighten up defensively. They gave up 24 points to Central Michigan, but I expect this to be a defensive slug type fest game and the under to cash for us. Again, it's the trend. It is the way to go in some of these SEC East battles. So I will lock that one in. Now moving on to a game that I think will be on the total other end of the spectrum. Oregon versus Ohio State. I'm taking the over 63.5 points, minus 108. Look, as soon as I saw the slate, I was fixated on this one because did you see what Ohio State did last week for us? Yes, they cashed the over for us and it was a no sweat bet. I expect it to be a similar type of game flow, right? Just amazing offensive weapons. Olave, Wilson, and Stroud played really well. Stroud, 294 and 4 touchdowns last week against Minnesota. Ohio State is also 4th in the nation in yards per play. They love those explosive long plays that don't chew clock, right? When you're trying to cash an over, I don't want a team like Minnesota that's trying to chew clock. And they still hit the over in that game because of Ohio State's secondary. Ohio State's defense is not great. They have not rounded into shape. It is only week 1. They're probably going to get better throughout the season. But Oregon, led by Anthony Brown at quarterback, he's a dual threat nature. I definitely think that he is going to have opportunities to exploit that secondary and maybe run around, get some yards, get some points that way, right? Ohio State gave up 205 yards passing to Minnesota, and that's kind of that's a lot considering what Minnesota was trying to do. They were just trying to run the ball and chew clock and make it an ugly game, but they were still getting some points up on the board against Ohio State. Now, Oregon, on the other side, we know they don't play defense, right? Quack, quack, out in Eugene. Defense, never heard of it. They don't practice it. They gave up 298 yards to Fresno State, and Fresno State did cover for us last week. Shout out Fresno State in that one. But Oregon, so far, early in the year, 109th in pass defense in the country. So, that they're definitely trending towards another season of a not-so-great defense. And Thibodeau, their star defensive end, he's questionable, right? If he's not out there to rush the passer, Stroud and that amazing Ohio State offense could hang a 40 piece on the board for us and go a long way towards cashing the over in this one. I really do like the over 63.5 points at that minus 108 value. I'm going ahead and locking that one in. Now, that concludes our 4 picks that we need for the potential sweep. Now let's move into a couple of bonus bets that, this is college football season. These are fun bets to make. Upsets happen a lot of the time, right? Who can try to predict them, especially the ones we saw last week. But who's on upset alert this week? Appalachian State versus Miami. I think Appalachian State has a chance to pull off this upset. At plus 270 odds, I'm going to sprinkle some money on it. Why? Because they have the offensive firepower to do so. Chase Bryce and that offense put up 33 against ECU. Now, it is ECU, right? And ECU is no good, but that offense definitely was humming. Nate Noel on the ground, 15 carries, 126 yards. You love to see that, especially against Miami team that just got absolutely abused by Alabama. Now it is Alabama, and Alabama's in a league of their own. We're not going to front there, but their defense definitely got carved up. And look at 485 total yards versus ECU. Like I said, this is going to be a narrative. If Appalachian State is going to have to win this game, it's going to have to be just outscoring Miami, right? And I don't think, you know what? I don't think Miami's offense is all that. Again, Alabama kind of skewed the stats here, but Derek King, I'm not so high on Derek King, right? 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. In my opinion, he's not that great of a quarterback. Cameron Harris was held in check against Alabama as well. So if that offense hasn't had enough time to figure some things out, Appalachian State can go up and down the field, move the ball, and at that plus 270 value, I absolutely love it for a potential upset pick. Come on, Mountaineers. Now let's move into the final play that I will be playing this week, and it is a teaser. Now, college football teasers are a little bit different than the pros, right? You get better value on them because college is a little bit more random. But I do like what you see on the screen. Yes, the University of Florida Gators, I think they should handle business easily against South Florida. South Florida, one of the worst teams in the country. I was watching them against North Carolina State going, why did they even have the unmitigated gall to take the field and just get stomped like that, 45-0? That was embarrassing for USF. They are not a very good football team. I think Florida covers the 3 touchdowns in the hook for our teaser on this one. This is a 7-point teaser, by the way. Southern Cal versus Stanford, minus 10.5. I definitely think they can win by 10, and the hook needed in that one. And under 53.5 in the Iowa State game. That game should be dominated by ground and pound defense. That's a classic Big Ten ugly type football game, and I think it's going to be close, and I just think it's going to be more of a 2 o'clock game. So I will go ahead and lock in that under at plus 160 value for this teaser. I really do like it, and I'm going to go ahead and play it, hoping to maybe pick up 1.6 units on that one. That would be really nice to cash. Now let's do a quick recap of all of our picks on this great weekend slate. So we have Coastal Carolina spread, Notre Dame spread. We've got the under in Missouri versus Kentucky. We have the over in Oregon versus Ohio State. We have Appalachian State as my upset pick of the week. And we also have the teaser if you do choose to play it. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been the absolute best community all year. And this football season is going to be great because of you guys. As always, let me know your favorite plays of the day down below in the comments. I love to hear what you guys are playing. Go check out Austin's NFL videos in preparation for Sunday. Yes, this is going to be a great weekend of just sitting on the couch, just chilling and watching football as it should be. This has been Logan. I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.